In this very room, there's quite enough love for everyone. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for everyone, and there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to walk through our every fear. For spirit is in this very room, in this very room, in this very room. What a privilege, what an honor, what a joyful celebration. Such a deep surrender, and it's a sublime reality that God is all there is. To come together with beings of like heart, mind, spirit, and nature, and to remember, to know again, to recognize one life, one mind, one power, one presence, one eternal giving nature that lives and breathes and has its being in and through and as all of creation. It lives and breathes and has its being in and through as me, in and through and as me, in and through and as each and every one, in and through all the live streamers, everyone present here, everyone in our hearts, everyone in our minds, all beings, all circumstances, all events around the world. God is all there is. Gratefully, I surrender this truth and live and breathe and have my being from this space, knowing that it's from here that all is well, that all of our needs are met, all of our expectations are exceeded, all of our joys are fulfilled. This service is already completed. Mine is the very best of us is showing up for the rest of us to catch up to all of us and reveal the divine presence in all we think and all we say and all we do. And so it is indeed.
So it is. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, no, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This peace that I have, this peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have. Thanks, Pierre Angeli. I'm starting. Didn't work. The world didn't give it. The world didn't give it. Let's try it again. I'll help. This love that I have. This love that I have. The world didn't give it to me. No, no. This love that I have. The world didn't give it to me. This love that I have. The world didn't give it to me. Oh, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. This joy, this joy that I have. The world didn't give it to me. No, no, this joy that I have. Yeah. The world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have. The world didn't give it to me. No, no, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. Yeah.
That's free. That's free.
The next song you could play if you want. Oh, that's right. Oh, who is it? So now, oh, the reading.
So, I'm reading Face Your Pain. If you want to grow and be free to explore life, you cannot spend your life avoiding things that might hurt your heart or mind. That's Michael A. Singer. The universe is a perfect, undivided whole, and healing can take place only when one is unified with it. It's Ernest Holmes. I was in Las Vegas at a coaching conference, and the leader had us approach people on the strip and ask questions. This was a hands-on activity for our growth and development. Over the course of the 4 days, I kept crying. I didn't understand why, and I was embarrassed. I kept crying. I didn't understand why. I was overcome by tears. Eventually, I told the leader that was happening to me, and he kindly explained that I needed to let the tears out. He invited me to take time to cry when I got home. He asked me to allow everything coming up to flow through and out of me. He explained I needed to heal before I could move forward. I needed to give myself time, but not too much time, he cautioned, to grieve. It's common for us to avoid facing the darkness in our lives. It doesn't feel good, and we innately avoid what makes us uncomfortable because we don't admit our pain. It ends up haunting us. You find yourself crying on the strip in Vegas for no reason. You become the victim of your unhealed pain rather than the healed soul we came here to be. To heal and be whole, we must embrace the hurt, allowing it to be what it is. We must be present with it and let the grief, the loss, whatever it is, run its course. And then we can release it. In addition to healing ourselves, our pain allows us to understand others who are in pain. We become a source of healing and a source of compassion. Now I'm going to read the affirmations, and after every sentence, I guess everyone repeats after me. I know and feel my oneness with the universe.
I know and feel my oneness with the universe.
I boldly face my darkness and heal.
I boldly face my darkness and fear.
Thank you.
I boldly face my darkness and
heal.
And heal. Okay.
Thank you.
It's not me. It's a song right now.
One song, yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted to.
I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so
I
blessed.
am so blessed.
I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. And so it is. Beautiful, thanks.
It is indeed. Thank you, Dr. John. I am so blessed. Man, who knows that truth about themselves?
No.
Okay? All right, I'm going to ask you, see, because if you know that you're blessed, then you should be able to stand up. I'm going to shit on you, but you probably will be compelled, because blessed people are compelled to say why they're blessed, how they're blessed. It's like, it's so good. You just need to know. Somebody needs to know how good it can be. So are there any people in here who are bursting at the seams with the realization of how good things can be and how good they are? Now, ooh. I got to tell you how good it is. Now let's see. Are there any blessed people in the house? Oh, okay. We still got some blessed people. Oh, absolutely. I certainly know about that. Okay, she's grateful because life is just going good. Everything's working. And the real blessing is that you know that. And that's really key, the acknowledgement. We're going to get into acknowledgement. The acknowledgement that life is good. You know, my daughter in Chicago is going through just her second divorce. And she's just holding her space. And she's like, Daddy, I don't want to do anything rash. I just want to see how good it can get. I want to see how good it can get. Dr. John.
Well, I just saw something I'm blessed with. A good friend just walked in. Can I say what you're celebrating? Is that okay? Your birthday? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. All right, all right.
Wow.
What's that? Just coming. Of course. All right, so any
well,
other blessed people just like bursting at the seams?
Well, that was just one.
That's just one
She
blessing.
walked in, but like the reading we just heard. I mean, blessings to see. I'm blessed to be able to see that whatever happens during this amazing week I had of travel and restaurants and playing a memorial and all this work, that when there was some problems or something, it's just part of life. You just breathe and go through the joys and pains, because that's a blessing just to see that rather than get stuck. So I'm working on that always to try and just go with it. So. And safety, just travel, all the traveling I've done. You can make lists every day. It's a good idea, which I don't do usually, but it's great to bring it up now.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Very good.
Good one.
Very good. That's science behind that. The mirror neurons in our brain activate. It really is monkey see, monkey do. No reflection on you, of course. But it's like when we see good, it activates everything in us, and we can feel. That's what empathy is about. We're wired for empathy. And when we see pain, we're wired to feel that too. And we're getting into that later. So, Munamas? Yes.
I just feel really blessed for life, life itself. And my nephew, he sent out an announcement on the family chat this morning that his second son was just born at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, they haven't named him yet, but he weighed almost 10 pounds. Big baby. And also our grandson, Messiah over here, who's just a little bit sleepy today, spent the night with us last night. And I don't even remember what you were joking about, but you said something that he thought was like, Grandpa, you really shouldn't say that. And he said, why not? He said, because Grandma feeds us. And so I'm like, I just out of the mouths of babes, just to remember little small things to be grateful for. And it was all a joke, right? He wasn't saying anything bad. But it's just the idea that in the minds of little kids, they're always just right here. They're right here at this level all
Yeah.
the time. And that's a beautiful reminder. Grandson.
Yeah, you got your back for sure. He's like, nope, no, can't say nothing bad about Grandma. I'm just grateful to be. I'm with you and to be in the awareness of the oneness. Oftentimes when I'm counseling with people, and they're really upset with the behavior of somebody else, one of the things I will say to them is it could be worse. And when they're describing it, it's like the most horrible thing in the world. And they're like, what do you mean it could be? How could it be worse than this? I said, well, you could be them. You could be the person who doesn't understand. You could be the perpetrator of this. You could be the other end of this,
Yeah.
Instead of sitting over here in victimization, you could be the villain, And some people would rather be that. I remember the days when I would rather be that. And because I thought that was the most powerful place to be in.
Yeah.
But I would like to say quickly learned, but I eventually learned, that that's no power there at all. And so we always start, at least we say it every week. Let's do it again. Please repeat after me, the Margaret Mead quote. Never doubt
Never doubt.
that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens
A small group of thoughtful and committed
can make a difference in the world.
can make a difference in the world.
Indeed, that's all that ever has.
Indeed, that's all that ever has.
And people say, and I am
And I am
a thoughtful
a thoughtful
and committed
and committed
citizen. Therefore, I'm a difference maker.
Therefore, I'm a difference maker.
That's right. So are there any difference makers in the house? Oh, okay. All right. See, it's a powerful place to be when you recognize that I'm a difference maker. The world is in need of difference makers right now. Howard Thurman, the great theologian, said, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive. And then go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Man, today it's just a great time to be alive, people. I know it looks bad to many of us. And if you're watching the news, you are under the trance of separation and duality right now. If you're watching the news, angst and fear and rage are being compelled to bubble up within you. Unless, of course, you're one of those people watching the news going, yippee, finally we're getting our due. You see, that's the thing about duality. There's always somebody cheering and somebody crying. There's no peace in the realm of duality. We try to live our lives from that place because we're conditioned in that place to be that place, but there's no peace in that place. The fight continues. I've been talking about it a long time. It's an eternal battle, they call it. Good and evil, it's an eternal battle of good and evil. Eternal battle, light against dark, which means what? What does eternity mean? Forever. It's not going to end. There's not going to be a winner. You can't pick the right side. It is grim. And it's grim for a reason. To squeeze consciousness from the midst of us, from the depths of us. See, when we're sick and tired, so there's an expression that says, yeah, sick and tired of being sick and tired, but I jumped over that. Sometimes I don't complete my sentences. That's why I have you, my dear. And so, where did I read it? Our extremity is God's opportunity. Do you ever notice how we very rarely pray when things are going good? We don't even have time to say thank you. We don't say grace before meals hardly anymore. You know, we just take everything for granted. But it's when that stuff hits the fan and we have completely run out of options and the pain is so great that now we're looking for a way out. We start thinking, well, maybe I'll pray. Maybe I'll pray. Hard times make us pray in anything. That's what I got from my mom. I'm a mama's boy and I'm proud of it. Anything that causes me to pray is a good thing because it's causing me to be in communion with the divine. And the divine is operating in me and through me and as me. And when I go into prayer, I'm going into the highest state of myself. I'm going to the grandest expression of my being. And so oftentimes, and I could even say all of the time, the thing that's annoying me the most, my greatest pain, my greatest fear, my greatest enemy, is simply here to wake me up, to cause me to go within. Because my friends weren't causing me to go within. They were just co-signing on all my insanity. See? Your friends, you get friends who think like you. I get friends who think like me, so all the stuff I think is crazy, they think it's crazy. I think it's cool, they think it's cool. So we can't really check and balance each other very well. It takes somebody who really doesn't like you to get in your face and tell you the bull-faced truth about who you are. At least that's what it took for me. Maybe some of us can evolve in a more gentle, kind way. But are you with me so far? Because they don't care nothing about your feelings, you see. Our friends are trying to spare our feelings. People, we're at a place in time where we quite quit thinking about our feelings. Because our feelings are from the program of duality where there's winners and losers, and the feelings are there basically to protect me from an external reality where I may be unsafe. And what it looks like when I'm unsafe is anytime I'm outside of my comfort zone, I don't feel safe. Yes? That's why we have this thing called a comfort zone. So we can feel comfortable and safe are synonymous. Am I in the right room? Okay. So when something comes along and prods and nudges, or kicks us out of our comfort zone. Is that bad? You know, the utero experience is about the original comfort zone, but we don't get to stay there. We're not designed to be comfortable. If we were, utero would be all there is. I know that's what I was thinking when I came. I was like, you know what? I mean, it's kind of an aside, but like my mom lost a couple of miscarriages. I was pretty clear. I thought I was here for the short ride. I didn't sign up for all of this. I don't want to do all of this. No. Just let me come in here and have all my needs met. Kick back in that amniotic sac and just chill. But my mother decided she was keep this huge man. I just found this out. She went to a doctor because of her losses. She was actually on the floor doing exercises every day, several hours a day, to keep me inside. And I was like, what? That's how come I was surprised when I was born. But I am here now. And I don't get to say I don't want to be here. You don't get to say you don't want to be here. You know why? Because you're here, Blanche. You're here. So what are you going to do that you're here? What are you going to do? What is mine to do? That's often the question. What is mine to do? We look at what's going on in the world right now, and it's so much, man. I can't deal with it. I don't watch the news unless I go into prayer. When I'm watching news, it is a prayer session. I have to be praying about what I'm looking at, or I just get caught up in the angst. And I can hear like Dorothy in my mind, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. It's like, oh God, ain't it awful? I'm looking at the devastation in L.A., and I mean, I look at the devastation in Gaza, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I got a letter in the mail, came to the center from somebody talking about the Hmong people and how bad they have it. And I know all these places in Africa. I know what's happening over in Ukraine. You know, it's people right here in America. Everybody, there's angst all over the world. And if you're watching the news, it's their business to make sure you're aware of all the angst, all over the world, and we're captive in our seats because we keep turning them in. If you have one of those big 65-inch, 4K, and you're getting it in vivid color that's even more astonishing than real life. And it's a trance. It's a hypnotic trance into separation and into powerlessness. And so what happens is we begin to feel powerless, and that is a very uncomfortable place. And when we have an external-based reference system, when we think all the power is outside of ourselves, when we begin to become uncomfortable, we look for some external reality to come in and fix that. And oftentimes, we're looking for a shift in politics, a shift in policing, a shift in relationships. We're looking for everything out here to change. But I can tell you for a fact, people, nothing is going to change. That's the good news and the bad news all wrapped up into one. There's nothing going to change. It hasn't changed. I'm just looking, we're just going through Martin Luther King's birthday. And, man, I'm reading some of the stuff that he was talking about, the Blvd community. And the Blvd community was addressing racism and voting rights and the Vietnam War. And, and finally, we got some things through with the Voting Rights Act of the 1960s and all that. And people were like, yeah. And while everybody was cheering about all those things, there were some people saying, what the hell just happened? How did this happen? Thurgood Marshall, black men in the Supreme Court. Ah! But when it's our team that's celebrating, we don't think about the angst of the other side. But there's a tick to every talk, people. There's a tick to every talk. The pendulum's going to swing one, it's going back the other way. It kind of reminds me of that ride at, what's that, down there at Santa Cruz. I hate that thing, that big ship. You get on this, just swings back and forth, and each swing is equally terrifying to me. I'm not kidding. What's that? Oh my God, you get on, yeah, especially on the end. Yeah, I made the mistake of being on the end. And I'm not fond of heights. I'm just not fond of heights. And evidently, I'm not fond of motion either. Nothing changes. And when we get to the place where we realize that nothing will change, then it's we ourselves who must change. And the only real change that happens in our lives is our own perspective about what's going on in our lives. Because even if we could fix everything wrong or bad that ever happened to us, we are still going to be the same person at the end of that fixing. And if we're the same person at the end of that fixing, we're just going to go out and create the same problem again with someone else, somewhere else. Are you with me so far? I mean, everybody in here is long enough to have done this at least 3 times, right? Have we done the same thing at least 3 times and said, how do I get back here again?
Yes.
How did I get back here again? What am I still doing here? And what are all these people still doing here? It's my consciousness that's creating this reality. We want to understand that my consciousness is creating my reality. An internal-based reference system is a realization that I am always at cause because I am one with first cause. And first cause is a divine, absolute, infinite intelligence, God, Maya, whatever you want to call this thing. Dr. Holmes called it an it. Whatever this thing is, I am one with it. It is one with me. It operates in me and through me and as me. God operates in me and through me and as me. He operates in me and through me and as me. She operates in me and through me and as me. Many of us can get to the in me part. If you have any idea of the concept of the divine at all, well, I know God operates in me. God is in me. That's what we've God is in me. God can come down from heaven or from the mountain or from wherever, the river, wherever God is, and come and help me right where I'm at, because everybody has an omnipresent God. Nobody needs a God that can't show up wherever they're at. Nobody has a weak God. Everybody's God is all-powerful. We all have the same idea of what God is. Different ways to worship it, different names to call it, but we all have this idea, and God is in me. That's what faith teaches. Yes, if I have faith, then I know I got God. God is in me. Faith is what we have, what the scripture says. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. This means, and I love that expression, because the substance of things hoped for, which means my hopes have substance. The substance of my hope is faith, the evidence of things not yet seen. Faith means I can see it even though I don't see it. I know it's there. It's kind of like knowing I think Dr. King said something about this, knowing that there's what do you call it? The top of the stairs is there when you might not see it on the first step. But you know the stairs do go somewhere. Yes? They don't just stop. Even if they stop, they go to where they stop. So you go up, there's faith, knowing there's something. But faith is for people who don't know. Faith is for people who heard about it. Faith is for people who want to believe it. Faith is for people who are desperate and don't really have enough beyond hoping. Faith, and there's still a possibility that it might not happen with faith. You know, I'm trusting God to show up. I'm trusting God to show up. Like, I hope God hears me. That's good. It's better than not having hope. It's better than not having faith. I'm not here to poo-poo faith. I am here to talk about a dimension beyond faith, and that's knowing. And in the dimension of knowing, that's where I have proven the principle so many times. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind about what I'm talking about. Dr. Holmes says faith is an idea so convinced of itself. An idea that's so convinced of itself, that so completely accepts itself, that any contradiction is unthinkable and impossible. That's kind of like knowing to me, okay? Knowing is my personal experience of this thing. Knowing is what I've proven myself. When you have enough faith, people who study faith enough, people who practice faith enough, you get to the place where it's really not faith anymore. You depend on, what's that? Through it all. I learned to trust and I learned to depend. Knowing is what we can depend on. We know about the law of gravity. We can trust it to be there. We know about thermodynamics. We can trust that if I touch, I can know. If I touch the stove and it's hot, I'm going to get burned. I know that. It's etched in me. But we can know God. We can know the divine to the same degree, but it takes practice. I'm thinking about Dr. King this week, the juxtaposition of the inauguration, you know, and our wonderful president talking about, always bragging about having bigger crowds than Dr. King. So it's on my mind a little bit, you know, it's okay, wow, he's inaugurated on his birthday right there. It's like, okay, I'm waiting to hear him say, look at my crowd. I was waiting for that, even though I didn't watch it. I was looking on the line. Did he say anything about it? Because part of me is still a little bit messy, just a little bit, you know. I wasn't going to say anything about it if I saw him, you know. But since I didn't see it, I'll confess. In his book, Where Do We Go From Here? He says chaos or community. And I'm working on, instead of chaos or community, I'm talking about KS2 community. What am I trying to say about this? I'll just keep going. We're bringing us into a phase of knowing right now that we're one with the divine. We have to, and there's a street term, Wyatt will know this, Wade Garrett. I had it right the first day. You know, there's a term on the street called go for what you know. Is that right? That means whatever you think you got that's going to handle what I got for you, you need to go for it right now because I'm coming for you. Typically, that means if you have a weapon, you need to use it now. I do have a weapon. My weapon of choice is consciousness. It's a lifestyle. It's not something I practice. It's something that I live. You practice it until you live it. It looks like this. I have a spiritual discipline that I practice every day. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's speaking with people. Maybe it's prayer. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's walking in nature. Whatever it is, I do it so much the discipline becomes part of my life. I don't feel comfortable if I don't do it. And we put enough of those things together and we begin to live from the practice. What's that joke about the guy, the frustrated musician jumped in the cab, was trying to get to Carnegie Hall. He asked the cab driver, he says, how can I get to Carnegie Hall? And the cab driver says, practice, practice, practice. That's the only way you get to the big show. Vince Lombardi is credited with the expression, practice makes perfect. I don't know who came back in a minute at it. And he said, no, he didn't say that. It's perfect practice makes perfect. Because if you practice it wrong, you're going to do it wrong. Isn't that right? If you practice it wrong, you do it wrong. So it takes a certain amount of precision in the practice. And so we have to have intention in how we use this thing. We're talking in the first 4 weeks of the month, of the year. We always talk about the first 4 chapters in the textbook. They put fancy names on it, but the first 4 chapters are the thing itself. That's God. Talk about what God is. Then what it does. What does God do? God responds to us. You know, Mom likes to say God waits. It's like, just wait. You know, what a good thing am I going to do for you now? The way it works in us, through us, and as us. I was with a men's group yesterday, and one of the ministers, he kept on talking about in me and through me. God is in me and through me. I said, that's good to be in me and through me. But the power of consciousness is the realization that God is not simply, the divine is not simply, the absolute mind is not simply in me and through me. It's operating as me. It's operating as I operate. As I live and breathe and have my being, the divine is living and breathing and having its being as me. I am the distinction in the mind of God. There is no other like me. I am the time God said, Mawata. God said, Mawata, whoa, look at that. And all of Mawata, fully orbed, was present from beyond utero. Before the sperm and the ovum got together, Mawata was a divine idea in the mind of God. And everything necessary to bring me full term, to bring me into fruition, is present. They say an acorn, it takes 50 years for an oak tree to give acorns. But the acorn is a full tree from the beginning. Yes? That means whatever phase you're in right now, you're perfect. See, this idea though, well, you know, to err is human, only God is perfect. You know, humans make mistakes. So if you're making mistakes, you're perfectly human. Take a bow. You know, strut your stuff. I'm not trying to be mistake-free. No. We need mistakes. We need failure. It's wired into us. We learn to walk by falling down. Eventually, when we start falling and we take a step and catch our balance. So we say walking is falling forward with balance. We learn by failing. Michael Jordan talks about, I got good, all the game-winning shots I missed gave me the confidence to keep shooting and make the ones. You guys see me making them, but you didn't see how many I missed. We didn't see all the ones Steph missed. We're starting to see, but you know what I'm saying? So what is my perfect practice? What is mine to do? How do I go from chaos to community? Community, the common unity, the realization that we're all in this together. We're all in this together. No one's getting out of this. Nobody. They say nobody's getting out alive, which guess what? We believe in the eternality of the soul. The eternality of the soul means not only am I never going to die, I've never been born. I've always been here. And that's why the eternal battle of good against evil is never going to end, because eternality is a reality. And we are living it right now. So in this eternality, we can choose to be a limited aspect of ourselves and try to decide which of these things is better. And we can have preferences. There's nothing wrong with that. I have political ideas. I have social ideas. I know. But guess what I've learned over the years? Guess what I know? Mwanda doesn't know what the heck he's doing. Now, maybe you know what the heck you're doing. But I have failed enough times and enough ways. So, and that's the beautiful thing about being a screwball like me, okay? You can see, I can stumble into the truth because I don't qualify for perfection. The perfect people don't let me in. They stop me at the, what are you doing? You know you can't come in here with us. So when you're denied access to that realm of duality where everything looks like it's going to be okay, you don't get that. I didn't get that. So I had to come up with another idea. You know what? Okay, I got you. Just got to go. Thank you. I had to come up with another idea. I was left to contemplate on my own. And trust me, I went into resentment. Little Billy is one angry little boy. He's one angry little boy. But anger did not meet my needs. It just kept me going deeper into the pit of despair. Finally, I had a problem. Me and one of my friends fell out. We got into a fight. He slashed me, stabbed me. You know, I bought a gun to shoot him. I'm at the bottom, man. I think I'm going to kill somebody. I think I'm supposed to kill this man. I'm at the extremity of my belief system now. I'm a little Christian boy. I was raised, thou shalt not kill, but here I got my gun. Name my gun Smokey. We had a relationship. And when I finally saw him, and I thought his time was up, I didn't think we was going to, but it's like when I reached for it. See, the voice spoke to me. It was a long conversation, but at the end of it, the voice said, "You're not a killer." And I had to accept that was true. I wasn't happy about that. I actually went, I never get to have any fun. Because this was my big moment. This guy was such a wonderful child of God. He had offended so many people on the block that people came to me and said, let's go get him now. We're going to take him out now. He's done too much. Let's go get him. And then we're going to use me as a rallying cry. But the problem was, I'm not a killer, see? And I don't want to be the reason why you guys go get him on your own. Don't bring me. I'll handle him myself. That was my pit of despair. That's how low I had fallen. That was me eating amongst the swine. But in the midst of that, consciousness dawned. Dempsey Alexander Pugh, the man who cut me, introduced me to God. Because when I got stabbed, I heard the voice say, fear not, you're not going to die here. I don't even believe in the voice, but I heard it anyway. Because our extremity is God's opportunity. I was at my wit's end. I think this might be the end. I think this is curtains. I think I'm going to die. I'm open for suggestions. Because I'm not trying to leave here right now. But Mwata's out of options. Matter of fact, Mwata didn't even exist yet. I was still William Oliver back then. And it was time for William Oliver to go. William Oliver had screwed up so badly that he couldn't fix it anymore. He couldn't get where he was going with that consciousness. And eventually, Mwata Rasuli was born. And when he was born, he still had a whole lot of Mwata. William Oliver is still here. He's not gone. But William Oliver is smart enough to know that he doesn't know what he's talking about. And Mwata figured it out too. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So what that means is when you finally don't know what you're talking about, now you're listening for the highest intelligence in the room. There's always a greater intelligence. I remember when I was learning how to when I was in practitioner school, and that's like on your way to becoming a minister, you become a practitioner. It's 4 years of study. I was really enjoying it, and this is our first time in the pulpit. The minister's going to let us all do the evocation. Each one gets a Sunday. Oh man, this is big. We're going big time now. We all happy about it. And of course, he makes you write out what you're going to say, and then he approves it, and he wants you to read that one thing. You just read that. Okay. When it was my turn, I've got my script right here reading. I'm reading what I wrote, what's been approved. But people, while I was reading, I could hear another voice. And the other voice was saying different stuff. And the different stuff was way better than the stuff that I had written. But I had promised to stick to the script, you see. So I finished the script, but I made a vow, you know what, from this day forward, I'm going to be listening for that other voice. That other, you have a higher intelligence within you. My daughter Maisha, the one I've been talking about, she loves to say, she's Islamic, she's Muslim, she loves to say, Allah's the best knower. The Bible says, trust in the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy mind, and all thy soul, and lean not unto your own understanding. Stop tripping on what you think. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't see the big picture. You can't see the big picture. You're like looking through the knothole trying to describe the elephant. You can only see a small part of it, but you think you know what you're talking about. And therein lies the problem. Because once we think we know what we're talking about, we don't have to listen anymore. And that's the chaos we're in right now. Nobody's listening. What's the one wrote this thing? Nobody's listening. But I think God's got our attention right now, yes? We're ready to listen now, as Ricky Byers. We're ready to listen now. What is mine to do? Well, what is mine to do? How do I get from chaos to community? I tell you right now, there's nothing you can do. I love this kind of stuff. I love it because I'm dramatic, okay? This is how I grow. This is how I learn. I need drama, okay? There's nothing you can do. Forget that. Nothing you can do. But there is something you can be. You can be different. You can choose differently. See, if it's something I can do, then I get to still be me and do that. But what we need to understand is I'm not just in this world and of this world right now. Whatever problems are of this world, I help to create them. And every solution I can come up with from my thinking process is going to add to the problem. And it's going to add to the problem because in my thinking, my team wins. I come out victorious. I am supreme. Everybody kiss my feet. That's what victory looks like. You don't have to kiss my feet. I just know you need to. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to kiss my feet, but that's what victory means. I win. And everybody's less than me. So if what we're looking for is victory, we're trying to marginalize the loser. Einstein said a problem can't be solved at the same level of consciousness that it was created. All we can do is work deeper into the problem. So as we're looking around the world, we're seeing wars, and rumors of wars, and I just on the way here, it's like, oh, ceasefire in Gaza, now they can get food and water. People, if the folks involved are not being different, and who was the folks involved? All of us are the folks involved, because there's a collective consciousness of which and to which we are all contributing to the collective consciousness. And I remember, this is something, Reverend Ike was controversial back in the day. He was one of the first prosperity gospel ministers. Okay, he was doing this in the 50s. He was, you know what, this is Reverend Ike telling you can do what you want to do, be what you want to be, and have what you want to have, and these success ideas. He had this real stick going. And he was talking about poor people one day. This is one of the hardest things I ever heard, but it's true. He said, the best thing you can do for the poor is don't be one of them. He said, there's enough competition for the resources already. They don't need you. They're trying to elbow them out the way. Okay? If you want to help the poor, put yourself in a position to be prosperous enough that you're not poor. And now, from that place, you can do something different because you're being something different. Get yourself out of the mind of poverty. Stop considering the idea of poverty as a reality. Demonstrate prosperity in your life so you can help other people demonstrate prosperity in their lives. That's what he means. Be different. It's a choice, a conscious choice, a conscious intention. So when we're looking at what's going on in the world, what can I do? Nothing. There's nothing I can do. But there's something I can be. And there's some doing in the being. There's some doing in the being because I'm making different choices now. I'm learning how to love myself, all of myself. And here's the problem, people. We don't love all of ourselves. We just love the part that looks good for everybody else. Right now I'm looking at, I got a stain on my suit, man. I'm telling you, I'm like, everybody can see this. It's like it's going to taint my whole conversation. Yeah, I know. I'm pointing it out because I need to point it out. Okay, because it is rattling around in my head like a marble on a roulette wheel. It's like, well, you know, they can see that cuff right there. Yeah, well, look. It's called imperfection, people. Human beings are imperfect. We're flawed. We're supposed to be. This idea that I'm not supposed to have any flaws is ridiculous. It's insane, and it's causing a problem because now we're afraid to look bad, and we're not looking at the bad. That's called the shadow. Everybody's got a shadow. Shadow work is important. You don't overcome your shadow. You can't escape your shadow. Peter Pan found it out. You can't escape it. You have to embrace your shadow. You have to learn to love. I have to learn to love all of me. That's what the Billie Holiday song says. All of me. Why not take all of me? That's God singing to us. Why don't you take all the stuff I gave you?
So what I'm hearing about the being, sorry.
Go ahead.
About the being and the doing is be the difference so you can do the difference. So,
There you go. I like that. Be the difference so you can do the difference. See how we're all bringing it? We're all bringing it. We're all bringing it. We're all in this together. Be the difference so you can do the different thing. Starts with an intention. Who am I being? The 11 laws of God says we are born. We come from a peace that is so deep that it cannot be disturbed. And that our whole lives is about getting back to that place in peace. When we were working with the Brahma Kumaris individuals, that group, and their guru was over, and she would always talk about the undisturbable peace. Consciousness is an undisturbable peace because it's a knowing that I am one with the infinite indwelling and self-existent one that lives and breathes and has its being in and through and has all of creation, and therefore I am one with this situation that I'm in right now. It's not separate from me. It's a part of my consciousness, and therefore it's a part of my of my consciousness. Then I'm in charge here, even though it looks like I'm not in charge. The I that is in charge is a Rastafarian. The I and I, the God in me is in charge. And I am in touch with this God. I've told this story before, but it's a good one. I'm going to tell it again. I'm surrounded by some young men in East Oakland working at a halfway house. They're looking for somebody. They think I'm trying to keep them from him, and I am. And I said some things that I thought was true, which they realized was a lie. And so in my safety, behind this iron gate that's 10 feet high with the spikes that they're not supposed to be getting into, they came over it like it was the low hurdles at the Olympics. And the next thing I know, I'm surrounded by these young men. And they're in my face like this. Dr. Jeff, I should shoot you right now. I should shoot you. He's got his gun. I should shoot you right now. I'm like, okay. okay, God, there must be a plan. See, there has to be a plan. I didn't live this long to get shot on the streets of East Oakland over some humbug I didn't have nothing to do with. Clearly, there must be a plan. So what's the plan? I'm talking to God now. What is the plan? Sometimes the plan is so ridiculous you can't believe it and you don't want to do it because it's too stupid. The voice said, go to the phone. See, now I'm into the God in the sky thing, but when I heard go to the phone, I tell you, I said, what? Have you looked down here to see what's going on down here? Clearly you don't know what's going on. God, you're not paying attention. Go to the phone. How am I supposed to go to the phone? You know, and it goes this, slows it down. Go to the phone. That's all I got. That's all I'm going to get. I'll go to the phone. I took a step forward, and these young men opened the circle and let me out. I'm shocked, but I'm not going to turn around and ask them any questions, you see. I'm hurrying my little black booty around the corner to go to the phone. And when I got around the corner, I picked up the phone to call the police. But when I picked up the phone to call the police, I could see the young men were running across the street laughing to themselves. Well, what happened was I was trying to keep from breaking in and getting this guy who owed him money. And I wasn't going to be able to prevent them from doing that. So once I was out of the way, they broke in. And when they broke in, he just owed them a few dollars, maybe $20. But when they broke in, they saw a portable TV, they saw a boom box, they saw some tapes, some movies. They said, we'll just take this stuff. So they grabbed that stuff in the front room. They were content, they were happy, and they left. And I got the phone in my head. I kid you not, people, the voice says, I didn't tell you to call the police. And I realized, oh, God just had to get me out of the way. See, sometimes God just has to get you. What Emerson said, get your bloated nothingness out of the way of the divine circuit. Sometimes the person who's keeping us from our good is keeping us from our bad. But we don't know that because we think we know everything. We think we see the whole picture. And so it looks like my enemy, but my enemy, what Bob Marley said, your worst enemy could be your best friend, and your best friend could be your worst enemy. It's back and forth, people. You have to realize that the consciousness of oneness is bigger than any circumstance in any situation. That means I'm always bigger than the circumstance. This is a powerful place to live. I'm always bigger than the circumstance. Everybody in here has been in a similar situation. Maybe you didn't hear the voice, but you know you didn't get here by yourself. Something happened. There was an intervention, and you kept living because there was something about you that was bigger and greater than that. And that thing about you that's bigger and greater than that continues and is striving to be heard right now. And the angst of humanity has a cry out right now that we're all responding to, and we're responding from the depth of our own angst, and angst is the shadow realm. And if we don't heal what ails us, we can't heal what ails the world. So we have to make peace with our villains. We have to realize, you know what? Like Joseph told his brothers, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. There's something powerful that's going on in my life all the time. It's consciousness. I am always at cause because I always have the ability to choose a different reality. I can choose to be weak and afraid. Hey, it's funny, I'm hearing it's coming through right now. Or I can choose to be strong and afraid. And the difference is intention. See, fear is not the problem. Fear is not the problem. It's the willingness to let fear stop me and not go forward. What's that?
Do it scared.
Do it scared. Do it scared. Just do it anyway. That's fear. That's Susan Jeffers got this wonderful book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. If you got fear issues, get that book. Changed my life. And through one of my counseling sessions, I came up with this reality right here. Here's something. That which I fear is the gateway to my greatness. That which I fear is the gateway to my greatness. Fear keeps me in my comfort zone. Yes? Fear keeps me, I'm not going over there because I'm afraid. What's that at? Is come to the edge? He said, no, we're afraid. Come to the edge. He said, no, we're afraid. Come to the edge. He said, and they came, and he pushed them, and they flew. Comfort is on this side of fear. But once we open that door, greatness is on the other side of that. That which we fear is the gateway to our greatness. Once we push through, we have a different reality on the other side of that fear. We've just expanded our comfort zone beyond its original circumference to include what we once were afraid of. And as we continue to do this, we increase the territory of our awareness. We are like doing that prayer of Jabez. If you just increase my territory. Well, we increase our territory by reclaiming the shadow realm as a source of power. Oh my God, I don't know. Oh no, see. As a source of power, I'm no longer ashamed of the stain on my cuff. I'm bragging about my imperfection. You could be as imperfect as me if you really tried. But you got to really want it, you see. The 12-step program has an expression. It's not for people who need it. It's only for people who want it. And that want is usually determined by how desperate are we now. Because I know me, as long as I could keep thinking my way out of it, I love my intellect. I'm smart. I first met Pranjali, one of the things she said, I thought it was so cute. She looked at me, she says, I'm smart, you know. I said, oh, sweet, she's smart. Of course you're smart. That's why I'm attracted to you. I had to get outside of this. Muata had to almost die. I had a 6-inch blade plunged into my chest. And I didn't die. It was a miracle. Somebody told me. The guy was Anthony, Tony's son. I was telling him, he said, man, that's a miracle. That was a miracle what happened to you. And I hadn't really thought about it. He said, dude, you had a knife in your chest and you didn't die. I said, yeah, that's what happened. They turned off the siren. They thought I was going to die. Consciousness. My dad used to tell stories about how thick his blood was. He couldn't give blood because it would clot. When I got stabbed, I'm telling you, I thought about him. And I started thinking, I need my blood to clot. I need my blood to clot like right now. I need my blood to clot. And when I got to the emergency room, they thought I was going to die. They stuck me over in the corner and did not give me any attention. Every time my body's going into shock, I'm saying, I'm cold. And they throw these little spread things. They're not warm. 3 different times they gave me something that wasn't warm. Finally, I heard somebody say, so what are you doing for lunch? I'm just telling you where I was at. I said, you're trying to get some and I'm over here dying? That's when I rolled over on my good elbow and cussed everybody out in the emergency room. And they looked and said, this nigger's going to live. And they came to see about me. That's what they said. They stuck their finger down in my wound. Well, what the hell are you doing? He said, dude, I need to understand what's going on over here. What is going on? He probed all the way down in with his index finger, and he looked around the room and he said, I'll never forget these words as long as I live. He said, this man has lost an incredibly small amount of blood for a wound of this magnitude. Yes! I did something right today. I did something right today. I didn't just get stabbed. I didn't just get stabbed. I had a demonstration. That was the beginning of a new life for me. Dempsey was showing me, dude, you don't belong here. You ain't one of us. And that song go, no, you ain't not like us. You're not like us. I didn't know who I was like. I needed community. To go from chaos to community, we have to develop the community of our own consciousness. And the way we do that, we begin to change our relationship with ourselves. And we now surround ourselves with people who can see the new relationship and talk to us about the new relationship and cultivate that new relationship in us as they cultivate that new relationship in them. And in that manner, we grow together in a new reality, and now we're adding to the collective consciousness of humanity a higher vibration of unity. We're no longer in the chaos. We're in the community. We're now, as an inoculation to the chaos, we bring a consciousness of wholeness where everything is supported. And we begin to diffuse the hate, the fear, the rage, the pain. And I feel empowered in situations now. You will feel empowered. And you can watch the news and say, you know, God bless this, and go into the oneness. And if you get overwhelmed, turn off the dang news. One of the way we call it was, turn off the news. Stop watching TV. Stop watching it. It's like you're talking to the moth. Stay away from the flame. The flame is not your friend. You know? We build a practice. We write. We meditate. We pray. We practice gratitude for everything. We start saying our grace all over again. Not just some rhyme that we learn. God is great. God is good. Let us say before this. No. Start talking about what you're actually grateful for before you eat. Brother Ishmael, one of my mentors and friends, he eats. When he eats, he does not talk at all. The whole table's in conversation. He eats in silence. And finally I ask him, what is he doing? He says, I'm blessing my organs as I chew this food. And I'm praying that they do digest it at the highest and peak efficiency, that everything is being made perfect as I'm digesting. He's in prayer while he eats. Scripture says, pray without ceasing. The only way you can do that is to be in gratitude all of the time. So once again, is what am I grateful for today? This is how we go from chaos to community. We start asking, what am I grateful for? Because whatever it is I can find that I'm great, I can build on that. And we all have something to be grateful for. So what's mine to do as we encapsulate? What is mine to do? Okay, that's it. That'll work. We accept that. Judges, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, we see. But answer. I'm saying I'm ringing the bell because the answer came up not from the doing, but the being. What is ours to do? She said, be grateful. Right. You said, be different. See, there's no doing, but there's a being, people. There's a beingness. We are alive in the beingness. We are alive as the beingness. So the question is, who am I being right now? Just saw a friend of mine, his dad just passed away. He's grieving. He's in grief. He's not being grief. He's going through it. He says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I'm not pitching a tent there. This is not who I am. So then who am I? I'm remembering the Lone Ranger right now. Said, who was that masked man? Take off your mask. I'm going to end this. I watched a little Michael Beckwith the other night, and someone was singing this song. I won't do the preamble part because it's more difficult than my voice can handle. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain, 'cause love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away, 'cause hate's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far, 'cause love is in need of love today. You are love incarnate, and the universe is calling you into action. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless us, each and every one. That's a big, beautiful.
Great song.
Yeah, this is your friendly and love's in need of love today. We're moving in a time of sharing, and in our time of sharing, we are acknowledging that we have something to be grateful for, and we're circulating our good. Some of us are here, we're circulating a consciousness. Some of us circulating service. Some of us have our resources financially to circulate. Some of us are circulating everything, but please know that you're always in the circulation because consciousness is always moving. And we surrender to that divine moment as we go into this time where we share from our time, our talent, and our treasure. Thank live streamers, everyone present. Daniel's going to come forth with a basket. We're going to prep, and whatever you have to share, we are grateful. We're grateful for your conscience. We're grateful for your presence. We're grateful for your gift. We're grateful for the realization of oneness that you're standing with us in together right now. People, we're building conscious community today. We've been
okay.
building it.
Thanks.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm on fire about this. I was in Atlanta several years ago. I'll continue. Let's go, Warren.
So if you're giving online, the address is give@sfcsl.org. And that's PayPal and Zelle. Thank you. And here we go. Thanks, Dave. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am.
I am remembering. Stand up and receive it.
I am
remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. Okay, I will, excuse me. Yep. Pardon me. Giving thanks and praise for the offering received. Recognize it as a gift of divine circulation that lives and breathes and has its being in and through and as each of us. We know this is a divine activity awakening us to the greater resources of our being, saying, yes, I am more than this. And we contribute from that more, recognizing that the more increases from a consciousness of more. Grateful for this realization, we accept this gift, knowing that all is well this day, and so it is.
So it is.
And I didn't do you know what? I forgot to do our affirmation. I want to do it now.
Good, yeah.
Okay. From a consciousness of abundance and centered in gratitude, I generously give. I accept the gifts of prosperity and abundance as I demonstrate divine circulation in my life. In gratitude, I freely give.
In gratitude, I freely give.
In grace, acceptance, joyful acceptance, I freely receive.
In joyful
All
acceptance.
right. And
Thank
so
you.
it
We
is.
receive, and so it is. The battery is out, John,
Oh,
on that other one.
thanks.
So, yeah. Thank you. Remaining in that consciousness, we move into our time of prayer. So joining me in affirmative prayer, I speak the word in first person and in present tense, understanding and knowing that there is only one life in complete unity. And as you hear those words, please know that the words I speak for myself are spoken for everyone. So I invite each of us to bring forward in mind, bring forward in consciousness, bring forward in heart, anyone, any situation that is calling for prayer. Understanding that we pray in the affirmative. Understanding that we speak the word as though it is so. So this moment, planted firmly in the soil of deep knowing, I stand here, understanding that there is one singular life being lived, one breath being breathed at all times, and every inhale and every exhale is a witness to the truth that there is that which is breathing me at all times. One singular heart beating in rhythm, in synchronicity, beating out the rhythm of all life, all existence, all flow, everywhere. One love, consistently giving of itself, God loving itself into existence as all life everywhere. And so I know that I am one.
one with all things that are, one with all things that have been, one with all things coming into manifestation through the power, through the presence, through divine intention, and through my claim in the universe. And so I know that I draw from a wellspring of infinite good, flowing ceaselessly. The God of all existence that has raised every mountain, rooted every tree, causes all waters to flow, is the same God that is my very life. And that power is the power of creation. That power is the power of manifestation. That power is magnified by the gratitude that I feel this moment. Giving thanks for divine health, giving thanks for the harmony and peace within my very being, within family, within our nation, within the world. All seeming conflict resolved. All seeming lack provided for from a place of absolute abundance. And the healing nature of God is being brought to bear, moving and flowing energy effortlessly through the grace of God. And so I am thankful. I am so thankful. Giving thanks for the each and the all and the every. I surrender this word fully and completely to the immutable law of perfect manifestation, and I trust as I know that it is so. In one resounding voice of truth, together I affirm, and so it is.
So it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Ashe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Announcements. I think we have several, right? One of those announcements, I'm looking at you, Daniel. Yes, I am. Daniel, our boxer back there, does boxing lessons, right? About health and the power of the body and movement in a particular way on Saturdays at noon, right? Yeah? Most Saturday. Ah.
Other Saturdays at noon, and every Wednesday at 8.
Wednesday at 8 here? Wow.
8 o'clock in the morning. I love morning people.
I don't know. I'm not one.
I am not one of them, but I love morning people. All right. And then we have also hosted by Daniel Conscious Conversations at the close of services on the second and the fourth Sundays of the month. We go get a quick bite to eat or bring it back, most people do, and then gather in a circle to have continued conversations about consciousness. I think I've been working with the creative process for, the creative process of how we create, because we create all of the time, mostly haphazardly, but when we can learn to do that with a high intention, that's a really good thing. So learning about the creative process. So Daniel also anchors that. Today.
Yes, 2
is
o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Today,
1
after
o'clock.
service. Or grab a bite and bring your bite back. Bring your bite back.
It's already 12:18, so it's going to be a quick run.
Yeah. Somewhere in there.
1.
Around
Well,
1.
One-ish.
One-ish.
It's a soft one.
Ish. we like the ish. Awesome.
And then we have-
sitting next to Daniel is Alicia, who is just a heart of service and anchors our Fellowship Sundays, which is on the first Sunday of every month. And if you haven't experienced it, come experience it. She puts on a spread. And for those of you that know, I said she can burn, okay? That's a good thing. for those of you that don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Don't say that in LA.
Yeah, really. Anyway, she can cook. That's what that means, okay? So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So bring a dish, too. You don't have to, but dishes are welcome. How about that? Yes.
Yeah. It's an
She
environment.
does. It's beautiful in here. Yeah. And provides that space for conscious community. So we fellowship together, and that's a beautiful thing. And you really do that. The garden is magnificent outside, if you haven't been out there. And the Brunos, Linda and Dr. Jeff, have helped to beautify that for many years. It's really very beautiful. And it's Linda's birthday today, everybody. So, happy birthday, Linda. Yeah, we love you. Yeah. And let's see, I want to thank Eve for stationing over there the whole AV audio-visual thing going on so that the live streamers are able to join the service. There's a sign-up sheet in the back if you would like to take a round on doing that. In addition, Eve also anchors our newsletter, which she sends out every month. If you don't receive that, go ahead, please, and sign up back there so you can stay in touch with things like the Burning Bowl ceremony that we just had recently, or the 4 a.m. peace meditation. Yes, 4 o'clock in the morning that we do here.
That was, yeah.
And I do come to that because that's actually nighttime for me. I'm awake, so at 4 a.m. Let's see, what else? What other announcements? I want to announce that if anybody is joining us for the first time today, and I know someone is, and you want to tell us about yourself and who you are, because I was prepared to do that too. So.
My name is Jacqueline Barr. I have a crystal shop out in Claremont. I've been in California just for 5 years, but I prayed for a place like this. Did you walk in?
Yes, yeah, we did.
Sweet.
The name of the shop is Sublime Journey, and it is sublime in that shop. It's beautiful. It's a lovely, lovely place.
An oasis.
Yeah, it really is an oasis. And I think, yeah, and we were there just a few days ago. We walked in, we were there for some other reason in Niles. And then I said, let's just go down to Jacqueline, let's see if she's in, you know. And we walked down and we're walking through the door. She's literally on the phone and she said, here they are right now. Whatever conversation she was having on the phone was about the two of us and her being able to come here. And we walked through the door right at that moment. So that's how, yeah, there you go. So like I said, Allah is the best knower. Or
So-
as someone else, a friend of ours says, God be knowing, right? So-
God be knowing.
When you're through, I will have an addition to our announcements. Some of our members here may be wondering how our two vocalists are doing because they haven't
Yes.
shown up in a while. So the update on Meredith, she's at a rehab center in Oakland, and she had some knee challenges, so that's going on. And then Lisa Cohen has had some health issues too, but she's scheduled for the 9th of next month. So that's all I can say. Prayers for both. So.
And so we're lifting them up
Yeah,
and
lift them
knowing,
up.
surrounding them in light, just knowing they're returning to us for sure.
7 a.m.
Yeah. 7 a.m. prayer call that Reverend Mwata holds every morning at 7 a.m. Please join on that. It's a Zoom call. So prayer, the number is on the website. It's also back there, but it is 990-5000-8774 is that number.
Would you say the performance you and Fran are then
Oh.
coming up really soon?
Yeah, well, I could
You and
share
Fran are
that.
doing a performance?
Well, no, it's a lot
Ooh.
of different vocalists. It's at the Bass Cultural Center in South City, which is really not that far from me. It's a beautiful place. So it's several singers. My friend Kathy Holly leads it, and I'm playing piano, and Fran's doing comedy. Yeah, I have the flyer I could share, you know. Thanks for bringing it up, Jeff. You want to?
What day is that?
Well, February is Valentine's month. It's the 13th, which is the day before. I think it's a
Nice.
Thursday, but I have a flyer somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's $70. 70. don't. Yeah,
The
we
Bass
don't want-
Cultural Center is a great place to experience if you haven't been there. and it's great Basque food, and also
Yes.
get entertainment. So
And,
perfect.
that's-
Gabriella, before she's scooting out the door, thank you for holding vigil
Thank you.
in the back, surrounding us all in consciousness of oneness. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Reiterate how talented John is.
Mm.
We've gone to numerous performances, and I can't encourage everybody more to go and hear him play. He's just remarkable.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Thanks
In
for your
addition.
support.
And, you know, it might be me that I don't recognize the two of you. Are you visiting us for the first time today, or have you been here? Okay, wonderful. You don't have to, but would you like to tell us your names or who you are?
Howard, I came here around Christmas time last year.
Okay.
And who are you?
Marilyn and Howard. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks
thank
for
you for
coming back.
joining us. And I thank everybody for joining us, because we're always at choice. So we could be anywhere today, and we chose to be here and be a part of the service, actually to create the service together, because that's really the way it works. It's good to see you. So thank you, everyone. I think that's it for announcements.
And
Yeah,
then
John?
Thanksgiving and comes after that. It's kind of like a combined thing, isn't it, the way we do it?
It flows.
Announcements and gratitude go together.
That's it.
If you want to say anything more about gratitude, I mean,
Just grateful.
good to see Angela Cross here. I thought you were going out traveling. You're here still, huh?
Krause is in the house. Wow.
Oh, well,
Really? Cool. Wow. I love that.
all right.
For sure.
And Angela's massage, too. I'll put a plug in for you there. Massage therapist, so. Okay, that's even better. Okay. Holy, 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 holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am. Worthy. Grateful, 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 grateful is the I am. Grateful, yes, I am. Beautiful song. More? Any other words you want to add? How about loving? Loving, 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 loving is the I am. Loving, yes, I am. Is that enough? No. I'm just kidding. Thanks for asking. That'll do. That's enough of that. No.
Jack Block is also a drummer, which is very impressive to me. If you all have ever been to Oakland on the weekends ever, there's a large drumming circle around the lake that just goes all of the time, which is magnificent. It is so powerful. All these drummers from all over the place, and it just sings out all around the entire lake. Mostly men and Jack Block. She is there in that drumming circle, holding it down. So thank you.
Well, we have a drum here. It's tilted a bit. Well, it needs to be.
Now it's a Kimball.
It went over. It needs to be adjusted, but it's from. Oh, you have. Oh,
course
there
you
you
do.
go. That's even better. Well,
No? Look. Alicia's like, can you go?
I second it. I'll second it. No pressure.
Okay, but don't put no devil horns on me. Don't put any devil horns on me. No devil horns.
You can join in on the closing song.
Great job for that. It's gonna bless us. So, but yeah, we could do.
We can play together if you want to get it.
Well,
As a
what
beat
I
at
would
the,
enjoy, we could end the service for people who want to leave, and then she can, you know, that's an extra bonus.
oh,
So I
but
just
you could
feel
also
that-
play along with the song, which
Well, that's true.
is
I'm
fun.
not opposed to that. I'm just, you know me. Whatever folks you want to.
Well,
I
hey,
don't know.
already we have ideas. So
Yeah.
whatever you want to do is fine.
I want while she's preparing herself. One of the things I want to say about I'm talking about turning off the television to change, or, you know, come up with a Brother Ishmael, one of my mentors. He's got to think about how to raise a empowered child. And in his community, the children play a game when they're in a circle, and they say "I am," and you have to say a positive thing about yourself. Basically, they went through the dictionary and the thesaurus, and they extrapolated all the different positive words they can come up with, and the children learn as many as they can, and they're playing this game in a circle with a rhythm that says, I am this, and you kick it to somebody, and I am that, and you kick it, and he teaches them how to stand in such a fashion, or you create a secret hand movement, or you stand in a certain way, like you're a mason or something, you know, you create your own secret movement that you play the game as, so you feel empowered while you're in that position, with that position. He says he's doing that because the adults that the children encounter oftentimes don't know who they are. And the child is going to be dealing with a lot of negative energy. And so this is like an inoculation against the adults. While the adults are blessing you out and saying all the horrible things about you, you just kind of do that move with your hand or do that move with your foot. And you stand there while you're listening, and now you're playing the game. You're taking yourself out of the situation. You're being somebody different in the situation. So it's just, even with Jaqua, I've been feeling the need to have what are minerals? I don't know what you call these stones. But I'm feeling I need to be grounded. I don't have any earth in my chart. And pure and tell you, I've been buying obsidian and that other one. So, yeah, but the tourmaline. Okay, I've been just because I'm feeling scattered. And it's like, it pulls me down. Whatever it takes. If you like to color. You know, get yourself out into a situation where you can lose yourself and be in the oneness. And so that's.
If you can travel to Fremont, you should really go to her shop.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she has some.
She's online.
Never seen anywhere. In our home right now, we have a block of selenite that we purchased from Jaqua, and it is about. Would you say that selenite we got from you is about this big? Yeah, it was magnificent.
No, it's heavier than that, I'm going to tell you. It's heavier than 80 pounds. Yeah, well, yeah. That's how you messed me up. You said it was 80 pounds. And so, 80 pounds. Well, that's going to be heavy. Me and this other guy.
80, 90.
Yeah, I looked at the guy you had helping me. I said, I don't think this is going to work. You know, because it was like at least 110, 20 pounds.
Would you like to come up here? It'd be easier to play. Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Okay.
I have played
Thank
with
you.
things. We do this piece at the end that has like
So
a.
much. Thank you, man. What a
I am
powerful,
the place
powerful
where.
blessing. I'm looking for you. You can catch us online.
It's got a beat to it. Yeah, so we could do that together if you'd like, and Wada can do the benediction.
Sure.
Thanks.
And a good time was had by all. Thank you all for showing up and being part of this service, for bringing the very best of yourself, even the wounded, vulnerable best of yourself, and exposing it to the conscience of oneness so we can all heal together and do the divine dance together. It's happening right now. So confident are we that we are being the difference and making a difference, that we leave here completely empowered by the realization. Please repeat after me. The light of God surrounds me.
The light of God surrounds me.
The love of God enfolds me.
The love of God enfolds me.
The power of God protects and watches over me.
The power of God protects and watches over me.
The wisdom of God guides and directs me.
The wisdom of God guides and directs me.
And the substance of God supplies, supports, and sustains me.
The substance of God supplies, supports, and sustains me.
Wherever I am,
wherever I am,
wherever I go,
wherever I go,
whatever I think, do, or say,
whatever I think, do, or say,
God is,
God is,
and all is well.
and all is well.
So it is.
Let's gather in a circle and sing, I am the place where God shows up. Here we go. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up.
We are the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. We are the place where God shows up. You are
the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. You are the place where God shows up.
I am
the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being.
I am the place where God shows up.
Thank you, one and all. We'll take the solo now.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Now's your chance.